like a TP, helping your lanes whenever possible. But coL, what else have they really been liking lately? Every time I see them, I feel like I always see like Oracle Lash, Oracle Marana, or it's like Oracle Kunkka. So Kunkka is probably a decent one. Like, probably the one that stands out the most for me out of the what Complexity likes to draft.
They do like to run some Naga here or there.
Mm-hmm.
The net's pretty good against Lifestealer. Of course, Solemn is good to deal with Relocate. So maybe that's something Complexity considers.
Probably a possibility.
There will be any OD now. So I mean, OD, a hero that was like automatic first phase ban, especially before the Omni Knight nerfs, was a real pestilence in pub. Still very strong, but has been slipping through a little more into the second, third phase as of late.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That hero's still he's just too strong. I still feel like he's the Astral. He gives you too much to the table. It just makes it too easy to play around. He's just such a solid laner. Yeah, he's just a solid hero. He doesn't really have to like do anything out of the ordinary. He's an OD kind of there, and it pairs super well with the Lifestealer. And it's pretty hard to like draft like counters to it. Like you have to like focus too much on these. If you have to focus on the OD, then you're not focusing enough on the Lifestealer to counter them. So.
Complexity. Now the third pick, they can really start to put their cards on the table. He said almost certainly a support and an off-laner here, but 100% confirmed, I suppose. So technically speaking, anyway, they're going to grab the Slark now. Slark, a pretty good matchup against Lifestealer, good hero to hunt the IO and find him hiding in the trees, maybe deal with the split push a little bit. Also not an easy relocate target.
A third pick, I mean, that's very early. You leave them a lot of options to be able to grab heroes that can obviously have heavy AoE burst, easy lockdown for him in a way.
They just haven't picked their second support. Maybe they want like a disruptor to counter this.
Yeah. I mean, there's still the big team fight too. There's Warlock. Probably won't see it because that's not really Wisp Warlock doesn't sound like the most keen, but okay. EG's going for a early Spirit Breaker. This is interesting.
Good vehicle for the Lifestealer. And how sure are you this is a support Spirit Breaker? It seems like that's the main way we have seen him, but is there any chance of something different?
It could definitely be the off-lane Spirit Breaker because he can obviously break out of the leash from Slark if he's like laning in that manner. He also pairs.
He trades auto attacks pretty well with melee heroes.
Yeah. I think it leaves it open a bit, and it's just obviously like that tracker. You want to have that tracker for the Slark in like later stages on.
Also, good vision hero to set up the IO relocates with the charge. So.
Easy to set up the ganks. Yeah, you can set up the gank with the Lifestealer and Spirit Breaker. You can bring 4 heroes pretty much an instant with the charge.
It's a party.
Yeah, instant parties.
Yeah, definitely possible. So Complexity, 4th pick now. They have plenty of late game here. They have decent Roche potential. Not the strongest lanes though, with the Slark opening. Even Leshrac does a lot of damage, but very squishy as far as support.
So they're gonna pick another fish, right? Because they have Slark and Slark already. What's another fish? Is there even another fish in Dota?
Tidehunter, right?
I guess I kind of count.
I mean, he's a nasty fish. I wouldn't recommend eating.
I feel like they need something to at least deal with the Spirit Breaker charge. Like, you can't just let him get his charges off every single time. Maybe something like a Rubik pairs pretty decent with the Leshrac. It's obviously not great versus these 3 heroes, but he's able to at least deter away from the charge, and he's able to set up decently for the Lesh.
So where have Complexity had their most success, would you say, as a team? Is it, to me, like from what I've seen, it feels like it's mostly been individual performances where Z-Freak just goes off on a really high impact support, or Cancel has a really strong individual showing.
I think it's between those 2 guys, honestly. Those 2 are like the big powerhouses for me right now at the moment. For that team, but
so they grab the Abaddon.
That one's very curious to me.
It's not like an obvious Abaddon game. I guess the Spirit Breaker gives you some stuns you can debuff, but
you can move open wounds in laning phase too. So maybe they want to do a dual lane with the Slardar Abaddon just to be able to pressure the Lifestealer a bit.
But it's not like, I don't know, like a Marana and some other like reliable stun that you want to be able to counter with the shield, or a big silence, for example.
And I mean, this is so perfect though for EG. Like, you're playing as a Slark and you have a Spirit Breaker Darkseer running at your face in your lane. Like, so much pressure on you. And Slark's a hero that you want to just kind of free farm. I mean, there's obviously like the MVP-esque thing that they do where they put like the Slark in the mid lane, but no other team really does that.
And someone is going to have a shit lane because it's either a Slardar or a Slark there. Neither of these heroes wants to lane against a Spirit Breaker Darkseer duo.
5 seconds remaining.
Definitely, you can't really. I guess you could try Slark mid depending on the matchup, but against Sumail, almost certainly you're going to roll. Especially because he's likely to have a more of a mid lane dominator.
Yeah. both teams saving their mid laners. It's kind of something that we've been seeing happen for like the past couple months. They just want to get the great matchup for the two of them.
And Complexity will get the counter pick here. They'll have last overall, so EG will have to put their cards on the table first.
I like. Obviously, it's a single card lifestealer if they do this, but Puck still looks pretty decent for EG. It's very good versus the Slark, obviously, with the Silence, good versus Abaddon, great versus Leshruck with the Burst, and it pairs very well with Darkseer Spirit Breaker to kind of have this wombo combo and easy setup.
It makes them very gank heavy though, because like their only way to kill buildings is that Desolator lifestealer build.
Oh, okay.
We'll go for someone who scales better in late game and gives them more tower siege. Grab the Alk, which has been kind of a star-crossed pick for EG.
Yeah,
put it mildly.
Maybe they didn't want to deal with Alchemist either. Maybe they're like, we don't want to ban this, but you know, we don't want to play versus Alchemist, but we can play with it. We're
gonna figure out how to win with this hero no matter what. Yeah. Starting in the groups.
That's probably it. You know, they're like, all right, we lose every time we play with or against Alchemist. We got to learn at some point. So it's a good pickup here. It gives them more scale potential. Gives them more of a, obviously the D-push as well if it gets to that point, obviously, because Leshruck, if Complexity is able to win a fight, Leshruck's always like that kind of big one that is able to take towers very easily. And now it's a Mirana pickup for coL, so that's probably cancels here on the mid lane. But still, it looks kind of weird, because coL doesn't really have any team fight. Well, EG has, obviously, Darkseer, which is the king of team fight, and then they even have Spirit Breaker on top of that with a Wisp to follow up. So they have the mech on Darkseer, they have the double heal coming in with the Io, whoever he's tethered with, and they have farming monsters and many different gang setups, while Complexities is a bit more limited.
Yeah, Complexity are pretty good at dodging ganks, though, between the Slardar Sprint and Blink Dagger. Hopefully he is able to farm it for their sake. You got Slark very elusive at Abaddon once he gets ult, not a great target to go on, and Mirana has 2 escapes of her own, so at the very least they're not particularly easy to punish. But that said, this Leshruck might have a run.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of lockdown on EG, but it's gonna be like this. It's like the Spirit Breaker is able to he's able to catch pretty easily versus the Slark and the Mirana.
It's a really good Spirit Breaker game too. Like, what reliable ways do you have to actually cancel a charge here? And
it's a core Abaddon. So it's a support Slardar.
Z-Freak Slardar.
Yeah, I actually thought it was gonna be the core Slardar and the support Abaddon in the lane, but okay. So they're going for this. And they're gonna want to just get a lot of levels on the Abaddon so he can at least heal off the damage and everything, and maybe give them a bit more push potential if he goes for the Curse of Avernus. Is it missing? I think mine's there. Is it? I think mine's there.
Yours is there, but mine's not.
Let's
see, does stream have game sound? I guess that's better right now.
Yeah, that's probably the more important thing.
Guys, just yell at us if you
don't have game sound.
So.
Yeah. Should be just fine, but...
Plexi gonna start things off here with the 5-hero smoke.
Boots on the Slardar.
Are gonna be revealed now. Arteezy.
Zai and Arteezy both in position to scout that out.
30 seconds to battle.
Too busy talking about me all tabbing to actually tell me if you have sound. So they do get down a hill ward in the mid lane, so they'll be able to, obviously versus the Mirana, having that ward is very important. The arrows, and I guess it is going to be a core Mirana, so a little bit less likely to cheat. Directly tanking it. No sound. Really. See, now because I asked them, I'm not sure if they're trolling. Good.
They might be trolling.
Mistakes I made.
Yeah. Heavy contesting up for the top lane. EG's all in position. They have the double ion shell, so they're really emphasizing on getting some mills. And oh my god, cancel almost just straight dies to auto attacks. Playing the bounty.
That ion shell though does a lot of work, and no bounty run at level 1 for Sumail, so worth it. Definitely worth the cost of
Yeah, this is still a tough matchup for the Mirana in my opinion. Alchemist is just able to free farm. That's just what the Alchemist does. He obviously just throws Acid Spray down, he gets his Grievous Greed, gets Poor Man's Shield. Once Poor Man's Shield's up, it's pretty much impossible for the Mirana to harass him at all. Especially since we'll probably see the Wisp running around between the mid and bottom lane, just able to heal up stack as much as possible. Probably to see Zai not starting top though.
I'm gonna go for a TP back here, Universe, just to the tier 1. He rotates the jungle early. And they're going to be running the crit Arteezy dual lane. So I'll quite likely to move around depending on where he's needed, but for now, Sumail with the early stout should Quelling Blade. It's Mirana. Actually should do pretty well as far as the point goes. This is a 1v1.
Yeah, cancel at he got super fast at the bottom lane. Much better getting some pressure, but shields off the open.
See a bash? Bash. Yeah, he has the Oob though. If they get a bash into the tether slow with the Oob, I think that's quite likely a kill. at this stage.
Yeah, I actually expected both teams to kind of do like the dual off lanes, like the Spirit Breaker starting in top and the Slaughter starting bottom. But the one beauty is that Darkseer can jungle much easier than the Abaddon. So I guess that's EG's thought process is, you know, just bring 3 heroes bottom, zone the Abaddon as much as possible, and he's kind of just stuck in this weird position where he can't go anywhere.
And along with that, I think just an adjustment to the fact that it's an offlane Abaddon in general. Is perhaps not initially expecting it, but certainly ready for it. We did see Bulba do this a lot.
Obviously, free Kong for career snipe. He's gonna get it.
Already taking some damage here. Gives it the Slardar. What do you even call this thing? Smack.
Tentacle smack.
What is that? A fish head.
It's a grasping bludgeon.
I think it actually bites its prey. It has like a mind of its own. Well, continue to pressure Monkeys, and he is running pretty low on mana, but so far, getting his levels, he's doing alright, all things considered. Universe, though, definitely in the upper hand here as far as the experience goes. And able to TP out, or stay back. And again, this is just a weakness of the complexity draft. They don't have anyone that really deals particularly well with the Darkseer as far as like a safe lane farmer goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's still hard for him to really lane up there. If he gets hit by pretty much one stun, one leash from the pounce, he's kind of screwed, but yeah, he's just jungling, you know, that's just what that's the beauty of having that hero wall. Abaddon can't really do that unless he goes straight Iron Talon like first item.
If you do that, then you're going to be greedy in the jungle with their support.
Yeah, exactly. And they can just have free movement, but yeah, mid lane already. Sumail pulling pretty far ahead, 15-2 to the 8-0 Moran.
Sumail having a good time here, Cancel definitely struggling a bit. Went for the Bassi build, which we've seen Envy doing. I guess is gaining a little more popularity with other players, but still mostly an Envy special. They are going to rotate Z-Freak down bottom, but so far he's been very ineffective in the early roaming. Hasn't been able to set anything up, and
got the courier at least though. That's kind of big.
That's true. He did get the courier, but not really putting pressure on these lanes. You can see EG farming very well as a result. Yeah, it's a support Slardar. Like, what are you really going to do?
Exactly. He definitely recognized that, you know, he needs to help out his buddy bottom. Cancel, getting charged up mid. They see it though. He throws the arrow down, and yeah, Zai stops the charge.
If you see the charge, I guess the arrow is still an okay way to do it, depending on the angle. Zai's still threatening to come in. He'll settle down a little bit for now. Z-Freak trying to cut Zai off. Actually, doesn't have the mana, but does have stick charges, so can charge out of here if need be. They've only got one way to interrupt it, not quite enough mana for the arrow, but they're going to have the combo soon. Crush into an arrow available.
That's it.
Lets the arrow go, and
Zai
says, nah, just kidding. But
that
charge and this might be a first blood with Crit there on the high ground. The crush comes in again, not going to matter. Cancel, leaping forward towards the once the crit kill, he will get it. He could get Zai as well. It might be a double. How many bashes will Zai get? He's going to need like 2 or 3 at least. He gets 1, then the charge. 1 more should do the trick. It's going to be close. He doesn't get it. Cancel will survive and gets away. He's even there to help Monkeys out though. Arteezy sidestepping the arrow as well. Chase Monkeys a bit further.
RNG rune right there.
That was a game saver.
Definitely was. I mean, he's suffering quite heavily in the laning phase, but getting that rune, picking himself 2 kills up. That's one way to make your Slardar like a bit relevant in the laning phase. Even though he dies, he does pick up your 2 kills for his mid laner. Definitely important.
And they really needed that because Cancel 14 CS to the 27 of Sumail, and it's not like Sumail's got all that much health yet.
Yeah,
in the lane. So that was the Zalf's still a concern, but at least Mirana being relevant as far as that goes.
Yeah, the support's now from Complexity making the move, so this is Universe's time to shine, make them towards the top lane. So ready level 5. An early point in vacuum. Interesting, not level 3 Iron, so maybe he used the vacuum to sack a camp or pull or whatnot with that. But yeah, also to note out, Complexity was stacking a bunch in the jungle, so they do have a big triple stack up at that hard camp for Moo to accelerate his farm once he gets to that point.
Yeah, definitely something that Slark can take advantage of. Let's go for the Iron Talon. They're going to make their move around Zai. He charges onto Swindles, but that's also directly into the Diabolic Edict. Pay for that. It's caught between a rock and a hard place there with the Mirana direct pincer move, but Complexity showing a lot of aggression and now going to begin tri-laning it. They've dropped the lane where they don't want this out to free farm. Could be setting up for a dive, though he has Chemical Rage available.
He's 6 with a range drop. That's a pretty tough kill.
They recalibrate, seeing that he does have level 6 now.
Definitely a lot of emphasis, though, as you're mentioning on that mid lane. Putting 1 mid lane ward and 1 even behind the tower. Bottom lane, Monkeys forever. This is going to be his demise.
Has no TP. already shielded before the Oppo wound, so that's not even counting for the charge. But they could move in and catch crit. A crush here will be his death. Most likely, Swindle's coming in, follow-up stun available, gets the kill, now needs to run away, though RTZ, no open wounds for some time, but has the phase boot advantage. Swindle's running in, and fades. He like Shadow saving him. They might even be able to move back in on Zai if he's not careful. A crush here said something up that Swindle's a bit too low, and this time they know open wounds is ready. Would be a death. The Leshrac, so I'm not gonna go.
Denied.
Nice aggression though. They're definitely trying to make the moves as much as possible. They know this is kind of the way you have to play versus an Alchemist. You know, he can't really get involved early on, so you just put as much aggressive movement as possible, and they're very like smart with their warding too. They even put another one bottom lane, so yeah, just heavy amounts of aggression from them, keeping an eye on what's going on from EG. They even spot out this humongous 4 stack that EG was bringing up with the Wisp in the bottom lane, and even EG puts down a River Ward, and it's actually already instantly countered by the Sentry. Well, it's there, but they haven't killed it just yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, Z-Freak already planted it. I'm not sure he's even going to notice. Kind of busy pressuring Sumail, who was without 1,000 gold, closing in on that armlet. So overall, Giannis, with the back and forth of the laning stage, you have a free farm Slark on one side, 3 cores doing really well on the other, kill advantage for complexity. It is a slight lead for EG, but like overall, as far as gold goes at least, overall, are you happy here with the Slark complexity if you're on their side, or do you feel like they have to get more done against the cell?
I think they're doing an okay job. The biggest concern for me is this add-on. He's only level 4 in this bottom lane. He just hit level 5 now, so I think he's struggling just a bit too much. They want to have him in a better position, and Z-Freak now might be just dying to the 2 supports. Universe surging in as well.
The classic neutral deny. There is no vision. Z-Freak might just be able to TP away. Universe with that 1 point in vacuum could be the hero, but he guesses wrong, and Z-Freak gets away. Meanwhile, Swindle's moving on to Sumail.
This is an ambitious play, for sure.
Yeah, well, wants to force out the Chemical Rage, I suppose, but Zai also gonna make his move in, Swindles with the Haster and the carry away. That's one fast disco photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Abaddon, like you said, is not getting a hold.
The one thing I thought Mu would actually do is, go for that rush Shadow Blade. Obviously, like, getting it first is the obvious thing that he's gonna do, but he's picking up a lot of small items. Finishes up his treads, obviously finishes up the Iron Talon, pretty sure that one's just core, but even finishing up the Ring of Aquila, and now he's bringing out a Magic Wand on top of it. So, he's not gonna have that, like, 12-minute Shadow Blade to be able to pressure that early. He's going for, like, just maybe 1 or 2 many small items, but he does have the stack to at least accelerate his farm a bit and then be able to get involved with it.
I mean, you look at the rest of the lineup, fighting early feels natural, right? You've got Slardar, and Abaddon, Mirana. These are all heroes that can get involved, even Leshrac at support that needs to, but he really is their only late game I mean, Mirana's okay, but not great at killing single targets, and you have an Alchemist and a Lifestealer with Rage, who has a lot of ways to deal with magic damage, so it's going to be Slark who deals with those heroes later on. Obviously not rushing a big item, just put a bit more of a ceiling on his late game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible for coL though, because also the Wisp and the Spirit Breaker are super under level. This Spirit Breaker is only level 3. Wisp is level 4, not even close to 5, or kind of close to 5. It's like missing 400 experience, but Complexity trying to put some pressure on RTZ here, but that's a very tough kill. They have to land the crush into an arrow. But yeah, the thing that opens up though is for them to steal the stack. This is a huge move for Complexity here for sure.
Wow. They're gonna find it now with the shield on Monkeys, level 6 secured. Getting some much needed experience. Also, Z-Freak on the Slardar was only level 4 at 10 minutes coming in. That's quite low for him.
We're getting pressured really heavy right now. He gets the TP, but he gets vacuumed.
That 1 point in vacuum could be his downfall, but now also the Moonlight Shadow, and EG still not carrying detection. Twice in a row now, they've been hoodwinked by the Mirana of Cancel, and if this happens a 3rd time, I'm pretty sure some heads are gonna roll.
Yeah, that's actually huge. Like, they committed a lot to try to get him there, but the one thing they do get out of it is, this is a smart move, very smart move by RTZ. They see all the pressure coming down in the bottom lane, and this is just like, this is standard now, pretty much for majority of teams, is my safe lane's getting pressured, I'm out. I'm going to your safe lane.
Used to be people would try to defend it, but not the case anymore.
It's kind of just like defending that tower, defending the safe lane tier 1 is just like, it's a pincer trap. There's too many entrances to be able to like contest with that. You have to pretty much have your entire team there to defend it. They don't want Sumail to get involved. Like, he's just farming. All he needs to do is really just get that Radiance online. He's got his armlet. He's having a great time already.
Yeah, 2,600 net worth sitting at, or 2,600 gold bank sitting at 7,300 net worth. That would be pretty bad if your mid-alch 20. They are now going to move towards Sumail. He has the Chemical Rage online. Now, scouting him out, they're going to move on to Wall and Chemical Rage. Follow-up stun will come from Swindles. They're going to chain this with an arrow. Not even close to scratching that out. And now they just want to get the hell away. Monkey's preferred position. He can throw out a shield. They can re-engage on squishier supports, but even Universe arriving. So 4 heroes to the lane. And not there. There's Arteezy, just relaxing in the top lane, has his own armlet completed. Moo will just be duking out for a while. Really want to apply the pressure here in the mid lane, though. This tower is about to be in deny range now as Cancel continues chipping away. Arrow having a fish. Zai could get crushed now. Last hit, though, not happening as the glyph gets popped. Crit trying to deny this tower. In the meantime, they're farming Ancient. Zai gets hit by the double Star Storm. Might end up going down. Indeed, he will. Cancel finds the kill. The tower denied by Crit, but was it worth it, Crit? He might die, too. Where's Arteezy? He's still farming the top lane. Now the tether out. Crit being pursued, though. Angry Fish on the case, and in a lot of trouble, surged away by Universe, but getting body blocked at the same time. Sprint has worn off. Looks like he should make it out, even though the arrow pierces through the heart of the ball of light. Great snipe there by Cancel, and only now does Arteezy arrive, and it's to the bottom lane where he'll make short work of Swin. Yeesh.
Oh,
Alright.
Cancel's in some trouble right now. He does have the Moonlight Shadow, but he's charged up right now. They have the Dust. They do this time.
Yeah, the third time will not be the charm. That got good mileage on the first two, and still a bit of a support tax even when they do hack it.
Very keen on keeping the aggression up, though. It's starting to work out a bit, like, quite well for them. Of course, not able to kill the Alchemist, and this is going to be the big problem for them. But at least they're dealing with the other actors. And then once Moo gets his Shadow Blade, and once Cancel's able to like isolate the Alchemist, then maybe they can burst him down. But I think they're still going to really struggle to kill him. It's going to be like this Alchemist just gets his timings, and then that's like, how do they really deal with this? Because how do they really deal with an Alchemist just throwing illusions out of the lanes with the Radiance? Like, who really is able to just split push super hard? Spark's decent at clearing waves, so is Mirana, but is it enough?
Brett, quite a bit of trouble here. Moo could pursue, could even commit the ultimate if he wants to die for this. He's going to leap forward. 2 more auto attacks to get the job done. He is going in, but he's being charged. Zai able to usher him away. Close call there for Crit, though, who desperately wants to get the relocate online. Monkey's moving here top now, working towards the Vlads. How do you feel about the Abaddon pick overall? Has it gotten enough done for you? Do you like the way Complexity are running it? A lot of early skirmishes, not really getting too much farm.
I think they grabbed it just so they can kind of like ball up as a unit and just take towers. I think this is where it's going to start to shine. He definitely struggled a bit more in the laning phase than they would have liked, but they got all 3 tier 1s down. So, and he wasn't even really there for him, so I don't really feel like he's like having the effect that they wanted it to. But maybe into like the later stages, just being able to shield off a couple like open wounds, shield off the stuns, shield off the charges, it might be better. But comparing that to a Darkseer, I think the Darkseer just kind of fits the suit for EG just much better than it does for the Abaddon from Complexity.
Meanwhile, EG just not only farming on their Alchemist, but Arteezy. He's hardly been in any fights, just constantly bouncing from lane to lane. Desolator really complete, and this will give them some.
Well, this is a great smoke by Complexity here.
They are going to scout out Sumail. It's just Moo for now, but he's got the night vision advantage. Sumail has not seen him just yet. Moo really playing with that night vision. Excellent footwork there, and now he makes the jump to Sumail. Chemical Rage activated. They're still looking to chase, though. The smoke wraparound comes right past Arteezy. They're going to look to go on him. He rages off the amp damage immediately. Now Z-Freak into the trees, looking for the IO instead. Swindle's already down to start the fight. They might get the Arteezy grab. No, he's still Zai coming in hot and heavy. Taxi Etcha service. Now the tether to keep him alive a bit longer. Sumail hiding the trees on the wall. Great individual play by EG. Will they make it out, though? Sumail trapped, alone, and dead. They still get the kill on the Alka. Now Crit trying to escape, but doesn't have TP for 10 seconds. Once an amp hits him, he too will fall. Doesn't even need the crush. Z-Freak find the kill. I mean, EG played that pretty cutely. It's not. Yeah.
That was a really good rotation by Complexity. Like Moo, kind of like you're mentioning, he was just kind of like playing with Sumail a bit with the night vision, and then the rotation from Complexity from the mid lane smoke. That was a very clever movement. Arteezy does get out, which is the one detriment for him, but get a couple kills, which is great. And now mid lane, Arteezy might get hit by the stun. Oh, just
Swindle's just barely missing. Bit of bad luck there. The EG now charging in. Z-Freak ready to interrupt the charge. Good setup there. The follow-up comes through. The brothers start to lay into Zai. They want to kill this sweet boy off, and they will do so. At the same time, though, Moose Lark will fall. And that's the bigger loss for sure. A 1-for-1. Complexity. Away.
Yeah, that hurts though. Like you can feel under the gun Complexity feels in this game. They really need to constantly keep running at them, but the Alchemist is still just getting his farm on. Even Arteezy is doing a very good job of like just keeping his farm really far ahead. He's almost got his Desolator finished up on top of that armlet. So that's going to be their, their building hitter. Instead of going for that Echo Saber this game, he just feels like they need to like kind of just pressure towers a bit more with that. But his rage is on cooldown for 5 seconds. He's going to need something to infest.
Or maybe a tether to keep him alive a bit longer. He can rage off the Zamp damage of. Then there's the relocate out. Will they reset and try to take the fight? The wall was already committed previously by Universe.
Mech's on cooldown, but they look keen to fight. Zai is charging in onto cancel.
Cancels the charge. The Alch concoction enough. Zone complexity away. Arrow not going to connect. Well, back off. Just the threat of that big team fight. So Moo, after buying the Shadow Blade, does go down. 1-1-1. So far, not a big impact on the Slark. They're going to move into the Roshan pit. And they take a big fight here, though, Yachty. So you mentioned that their team fight isn't the strongest. They still don't have the Ags here. EG came, it could be a dire situation, but it doesn't appear EG know, or at least they want to risk it.
Yeah, without the wall down, they are a bit weaker. It's a little bit hard to fight into coL's lineup just in that segment without that potential. And also, like, Zai's having a pretty rough game. He's got just level 7, no items really on him. The Wisp as well, just boots bottle.
It's alright, they'll feed him in Aghanim's later.
Yeah, that'll be the nice thing too. That's the great thing about having this Alchemist. And that's the strategy that they're going for. When you pick an Alch, that's kind of what you're getting into. He's just going to run around farm, and really a lot on Sumail and Arteezy this game in comparison to everybody else on the side of EG. Like Universe, he's going to get the job done. This is a Universe Darkseer.
God, imagine a Universe Darkseer with 7 item slots. That's pretty scary.
Yeah. Top lane, Z-Freak. Looks like it might be his demise here.
Zai with the charge in, the crush attempted by Z-Freak doesn't get it off in time. Failure to do so, he will definitely die. Arteezy even being relocated into the fray. Monkeys is there, and Arteezy giving him a bit of chase, already committed the open wounds. Backing off. As mentioned, did go for the Desolator. They're gonna relocate back to the mid lane. Crit drops them off. Taxi done its job for the day.
Yeah, that was like
Did get a lane or a jungle ward down wall, that was all happening.
That was like a nice little double move in Venom. They net kill and they get the vision down, but Moo is aware of it, pinging out on the height, or around the area, but he didn't find it exactly. If Swindle's able to find it with the 2nd century, and he is.
That is definitely crucial with the Slark. You're dealing with an IO, right? You mentioned also there's the Infest Bomb, there's the long range charge, that really 4 heroes can show up. You have BOTs and Alch, maybe all 5 can even come. You need to make sure you keep the vision advantage, and that's where the Slark really comes in handy.
Big question to me is this enough? And I still don't think it is. This Alchemist is still just farming out of control. He's getting close to his Manta style, and that's when it's just become like almost impossible, because they don't really have anything that can just like okay, Murata and Slark can kind of force the lanes out, but then who's their hunter? They need this blink on Z-Freak in order to really be able to go for those access points of killing Sumail with like a couple different rotations, because they need to bring like 3 heroes actually to kill that Alchemist and make sure that he's not really in the area.
EG are actually up almost over 5,000 gold, and they're down 2 towers. So, well, you imagine at some point the tower score is going to equalize. Suddenly they're up closing in on like 8,000 gold. Nearly a 10k advantage with the Alch's rate of farming. By the time they get those towers, could well be the case.
This is where
it doesn't feel like they're getting enough.
Yeah, this is where they get a good amount more map control on the side of EG. Manta style finished. He's just going to be able to throw illusions, cut creep waves, force lanes out. Crit though, bottom lane. Easily brought that.
Tried for the relocate, not going to work out, and now the chase on his eye. They amp him up, he's got to charge away, and it will bash Z-Freak as he tries to get in range. Straight on towards mid, and I imagine will be cancelled. At some point there's a leap into an arrow, but arrow...
This is where
space created. Sumail farming the enemy woods, Universe farming top.
Yeah, they should give Z-Freak a place to farm, just to finish up that blink. He's so close. Yeah, definitely give him opens up a big option for them to be able to get the kill everybody else even. Like they can just ignore the Alch for a bit and just keep fragging and then get to the point where they can deal with him, but still definitely very difficult to go for him.
With like enough items, it does feel like they have that opportunity. As Zai's going to charge in directly on the Swindles with the Infest Bomb, unloads Arteezy. The turn comes though quickly, as Zai will be brought down. Arteezy to back away, so support for a support, and unfortunately, Spearbreaker down again. Gee, another death for him, but I guess like we talked about, he has the comeback mechanism with the Ags, and that is not available to stop.
He is trading deaths for Swindles.
Secret strategy for EG, put Swindles on tilt.
Hey, Swindle's kind of doing his job though. Like he's been pretty good at like following around the rotations, getting the stuns off with his brother Z-Freak. And now this is good timing. Now he got the blink dagger on Slaughter, maybe a little bit later than he wanted, but he opens up the map a little bit to them with that Slaughter running around with the Shadow Blade.
So I imagine we will see the Octarine next for Sumail.
Yep.
We need some armor items, or is the Slardar going late game?
Yeah, definitely just like the kind of the standard, right? The Octarine into Shiva's Guard. It's usually what we just see picked up. Moo going for a solo pick up on crit, but nobody's near him. He's actually completely alone. He's got the Aegis, he's got Shadow Dance.
He realized there was other people here, and now Moo in a lot of trouble. He's going to commit the ultimate, tries to run away, Shadow Dancing out, pouncing as well. He does have the Aegis. They can reset around him, go for a round 2 fight, but only if his team gets in position first. The arrow crashes in. Going to connect on Arteezy while he's raged, so doesn't get much done. Zeke's going to likely die here on 3. Make it 4 hero charge by Zai, who delivers in spades. Moo there to turn this one, though. He continues to engage, still holds the Aegis. The clutch comes through on 3. Great job. Can they focus down Universe? They will do, and suddenly Cancel arrives. Make it a 2 for 2. EG on the run, Zai scrambling out. Arteezy, though, getting the job done for now. Takes the Abaddon with him, at least. And now into the trees they engage. A 2-hero stun from Sumail, but instantly Dark Pegged off. Moo gonna try to bring him down, but just very slow, ineffective poking. The Aegis, I believe, expired during this time. Now he's gonna pounce out. He tries to run, unable to pursue over the tree line, but they get the charge. Zai's coming in, hot and heavy. Shadow Blade's there. Oh, so close to dying. He wants to go back in. Moo's gonna come in for this. He gets the kill. Can he jump out? You betcha he can, but the concoction takes him down. Was it worth it?
They got Arteezy, you know, it was a 4 for 4 trade, but like we're saying, this is the Alchemist's power. They really don't have anything to do with it. Oh, and he's gonna get a free kill on Swindle here. Oh no, goodbye Swindles. 2.
That was
Cash money.
A little too easy.
It's like a creep. Casual farm right there.
Yeesh.
That's like.
I mean, that's the thing to keep in mind, right? It's like Alp didn't even really get damaged that entire fight, and they had an Aegis, although I believe it expired mid-fight. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely unfortunate them losing that. Moo would have lived at least in the end of that, and it would have been like a pretty decent trade 4 for 4. But problem is now, boy Alchemist has his Octarine, and now like you said, he wasn't even scratched at all in that last team fight. How are they gonna really deal with him now? They don't have anything to deal with.
Don't
to
have
pierce
the
that
best
evasion.
single target until quite late when Slark is really farmed.
Yeah, like Cancel can do a good amount of burst, obviously, with the double Starfall, and once he gets the Ethereal Blade on top of that, he has a good amount of single burst, but an Alchemist can kind of deal with that, especially at this point. 2,500 life when he has his armlet toggle, Chemical Rage.
Not to mention they have an IO as well. Nice pick on the Courier by Cancel, but can he make it out? Suit a bit. Team sweeping in to engage, and now crit tethering his way back towards safety, but Moo's still in pursuit. They're going to get the F damage. Spirit's actually hitting Moo, and that immediately prompts a flurry of pings and a sentry plant. They know that someone's in the area. Barely built up. Scrap together a D ward. Sumail's bad and bash.
He did go for the Basher. I think this is just a build that he does. He likes to go for the Vlad's is kind of like the standard, the Basher. They just feel like they need a little bit more lockdown, more alive through the rage, especially.
Curse of Avernus, you get that little bit of attack speed.
Gives him I guess like a scaling potential as well in kind of a way, but.
And in long fights, I suppose, gives them a way to potentially lock down a lifestealer for the rage, maybe finish.
Yeah.
Not sure how much auto attacking he's going to be doing, to be honest.
Exactly. This Alchemist is a massive problem. We keep saying it, we keep talking, but that's what it is when you pick an Alchemist last phase. It's the whole emphasis of the draft, and he just passed the 1,000 GPM. So, remember guys, you remember your predictions for your compendiums? He has now reached the 1,000, so if you didn't put that, tough luck.
Yeah, if you thought EG would stop picking Alchemist after the many disastrous Alchemist performances they've had so far. Try to fill up that IO, but crit pesky as ever. Just gonna be away. Haven't really seen much out of this Slark, to be honest, Giannis. He was given an Aegis. He is 5-2-3 now, but still nowhere near shutting down the Alchemist. The supports are struggling, but they can catch up, at least one of them, quite a bit later with the Aghanim Setter. And I mean, frankly, like they're not stopping the cores really from farming that much at all, which is obviously the bigger concern.
Yeah, I mean they can the supports, they can kill off everybody from the side of EG, but yeah, it's the Alchemist who is the big problem. They need to pretty much kill everybody and then isolate him, and then it's still pretty tough for them to actually bring him down. It's like everybody needs to kind of just be focusing on him, and it still might not even be enough because of how farm he really is. Like he's gonna have the Shivas already finished up too.
The good news is he's running out of items. There's the silver lane, that's probably it. I think we mentioned it canceled to get the Ags a while ago, and into the Blink Dagger, now back to the shotgun. And late game Mirana with a full 6-7 slot kit, that is a lot of potential single target, either going back into physical damage with the Slider amp to back you up, or just even doubling down and going to put that Dagon 5 though. But either way, those have plenty of room to scale. I guess that's my question is, do you think Complexity can drag this out? Like, and if it goes super late, do they then have the advantage?
It definitely is potential. They make it to a super late point just because of the options of their heroes. They can kind of like weave in and out of the fights over and over, and that could be their potential because of how underfarmed most of the heroes on EG are. So maybe there's a potential of like a super late game for them, but right now it's it's definitely way too hard for them to deal
EG's job
with
like not to let them even get there.
Yeah. Not like eat too much and then like, be able to just get Aegises and break all the towers and claim map control, at least with this Alchemist. But yeah, definitely at like a super late game potential, Complexity can weave in and out of the fights and clean up everybody and isolate the Alchemist in a way. That's quite a ways away from now.
You can replace that Iron Talon. Does have the Shivas, as you mentioned. So, really only have Mood Shards that he could grab, or maybe trade something out for like an AC, get rid of that Armlet potentially.
Yeah, more than likely get rid of that Armlet and grab something. I'm not sure if the AC could be pretty easy just to break high ground, but I think Artesia would be more than likely the one to get that after like.
Oh, that was a quick two-shot. This Leshrac just not feeling like a hero anymore. ZG chase in, confident to move forward. Z-Freak does have a crush ready. Could be a 3-4 hero crush. He's just gonna flop out an amp damage now immediately. Around the start after him. They're gonna jump away, and G now revving up the concoction. Not gonna find anyone to latch onto with this, it looks like. So, quick self-stun.
They did see that
coming in. Oh! Just misses the Darkseer.
They did see that Z-Freak didn't port back base there though, so that's a big tell. Like when he charged him, it didn't show him in base, it showed him at that tier 1 tower bottom, so they're like, okay, Complexity's definitely trying to still just fight in the area, so they all just kind of just chill there too, on the side of EG.
A lot of dancing. Unfortunately, this means Slark not farming, whereas Alchemist with his illusions constantly.
EC finished up now on RZ. And Sumail's already on it toward that first Aghanims for either Universe or Zai.
Shotgun, meanwhile, completed for the Mirana, and it gets IO. This is basically an instant kill if they can find crit. Even the Spirit Breaker, the Darkseer, will come pretty close to dying, and they want a pipe to deal with this. Universe trying to work on one. Still gonna be a while before the full pipe is completed, so a decent window here from Mirana at the big impact is Sumail. Aggressively sieging this tower, goes for a quick, short duration stun on Z-Freak. Z-Freak continuing to sprint. Back away, Monkey's there to help him. Meanwhile, Zai charging in is going to isolate Cancel, tries to bring him down. The Moonlight Shadow already committed, but he leaps out into a beautiful vacuum. Universe able to interrupt that one. Can they focus him down? Defensive Ghost Scepter trying to escape, heading to the right instead. He's going to live for now. Cancel not dead yet, but the Illusion Bird might pick him down. Zai there with the charge will finish him off. 3 have fallen. About to be a 4th. Monkeys forever. Already committed his ult. And out, by the way, still at full health. Artesia's still quite healthy. They do get the IO, but isn't enough.
Yeah, they can't deal with this Alchemist at all. They even tried to go for some like cute wraparound with Complexity, but there's just no way they can kill him. Like there's actually no way now. And this is the timing window for EG. They've got the AC finished up on Artesia. They've got a 6-slotted Alchemist. This is where they can just siege the base and close this game out for sure.
They're just not keeping up in items. Alch net worth more than Mirana and Slark combined, to say nothing of their other cores still doing quite well in their own right. That they mow down the melee racks, the range bottom. I mean, game looking quite close to over, Yannick. Heading into game 2, what kind of adjustments do you want to make of your Complexity? Is it just the way they laned it? Is it more down to the picks? Where do you pin this one?
I mean, this is like Alchemist versus the world kind of in a way. There's actually they just can't deal with him at all. I mean, they banned the Storm last ban, which is definitely a good ban because they didn't have any lockdown really for him. So you can't really blame them for doing that, but what's worse, right? Dealing with
What's worse is Artesia
Alchemist
just destroying you with Lifesteal there. All the while. I think they're gonna find Swindles here momentarily. Tries for a few seconds to Pulse Nova. It's a fleeting effort by him, and he will go down. Meanwhile, Monkey's about to finish up.
That's the
This
thing.
is pretty much the end.
Like, like when you third pick a Slark, especially, like you're putting yourself in a position where they can kind of just these heroes that ramp up in a faster manner. That's exactly what Alchemist does. Like he farms at a five-fold rate over a Slark, and the Slark is able to just get non-stop pickup. But that's not gonna happen. Sumail's just he just running. He just doesn't care at all.
Yeah, he already gave someone an egg, so I didn't actually get.
Gave it to Universe. Yeah,
You can't really blame Complexity for not game planning for the Alp though, because it's like so bad for EG the last like month.
I don't know if that's really like a good like reason though to not like. I mean,
I love
it's a last pick Alchemist though.
I
What can you really
love
say
the
about
fact that they're still running it, but like if I'm Complexity, I'm not really expecting EG would want to run out. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, that's where they get you, and I like the fact that EG is being stubborn and not just giving up on it, because it keeps their drafting options open heading into the main event. And you know, with the format we have for this event, it feels like this group stage is almost, if not more, about mind games and kind of setting the stage for drafts in that main event. It's at least, if it's not only about that, it's definitely more so about that.
I mean,
the format.
Yeah, if you want to be a tier 1 team in any manner, you have to be able to like play Alchemist at the manner. I mean, the hero is pretty ridiculous, especially at the last pick. Like you can see how the damage potential that he just does. Like, he's unkillable. He died once when he wasn't online at all, but now he's completely online and Plexi's just fighting. Not even just an uphill battle. It's like going up a mountain.
They're trying to scale the wrong side of Mount Everest. This is just not looking great for them. Sumail killing off Swindle on the one side of the map, basically. That's right, just a big bucket of gold for them. As Cancel desperately trying to bring down Crit. Arrow, though, could be tanked by Zai. That is a sign of friendship here.
By Cancel.
Cancel likely to be next. Focused down by Sumail. Mauled by the Spirit Breaker, and a little karate chop by the Conehead. Kill him off. They will get the Arteezy kill. The tears will flow from him, but EG overall pretty solid. It's still a full HP Alchemist, basically unkillable. They're gonna lob in the concoction, vacuum to combo with that. Nice 2-hero catch and make it 4, make 5. Complexity at some point. This is just bad for morale.
Yeah, I think they're probably just like thinking about the next game already. Like, yeah, we should probably just ban their 4th Alchemist. Won't have to deal with something like that. I actually don't.
Or maybe run it.
Or maybe even run it.
You could see them run.
I think they definitely run it. Cancel can play. He plays it in pubs. His big 3, I think, are like Alchemist, OD, and Mirana. I think those are the ones. But yeah, you just look at the core pair up from EG in comparison to Complexities, and you can kind of like feel that kind of dictated the way the game was gonna go, unless somehow Complexity super snowballed in a way. But
They run Meepo, by the way, Complexity. I don't think they.
No, they don't have a Meepo player.
Because that's the one other hero I know a lot of analysts have talked about. Like Meepo's actually a good counter to Al because he's just so fast.
He's faster. Yeah. You get your Aghanims at like 11 minutes. There's no way in